This is El Alquimista by Paulo Coelho. We got a South American, Brazilian, Portuguese speaker and writer who wrote the book El Alquimista or The Alchemist in English, right? And una fábula para seguir tus sueños. So it's saying like a fable to continue pursuing your dreams. On the back of the book, you have a crescent moon there, an ode to Islam, and it says, La única obligación de una persona es cumplir su destino. The only obligation of a person is to complete their destiny, right? So, very beautiful book, very powerful message. And we're about to go into Spanish and English for the Moorish Alchemist, part 69. The reading today is very short, very short reading. And I'm your boy, Marcoelboriken. I'm with the Moors of Light. You guys can check out our website, moorsoflight.com, moorsoflight.com, right? So I'm gonna get into this right here, and it's a very short passage today. Al segundo día, on the second day, el muchacho subió a lo alto de una peña que quedaba cerca del campamento. El muchacho, the young man, subió, went up a lo alto at the highest point of a rock, una peña que quedaba cerca del campamento that was very close to the encampment. Los centinelas le dejaron pasar. The guards, they let him pass. Y había oído hablar del brujo que se transformaba en viento. And they had heard of this sort of shaman witch that was able to transform themselves into wind. So this is the perspective of the soldiers. Y no querían estar cerca de él, and they didn't want to get near to him, to Santiago. Además, el desierto era un grande e infranqueable muro. So the desert, um, however, the desert was a huge and um, almost like a indestructible wall. Se pasó el resto de la tarde del segundo día mirando el desierto. He spent the rest of the afternoon on the second day just looking out at the desert. Escuchaba su corazón. He was listening to his heart. Y el desierto escuchaba su miedo. And the desert was listening to his fear. Ambos hablaban el mismo idioma. They both were speaking the same language. So, Santiago in this particular chapter is very short, as you can see. It's only one or two very short paragraphs. And Santiago here is on an encampment where the soldiers are surrounding him, but they're letting him roam free. But this, because they're in the middle of a desert, these guys have experience um, with wars, and they took away his horse and the alchemist's horse. So they got two prisoners that are in this encampment, and he only has another 2 days until he's able to transform himself from being a human into wind. And that's what the people there in that encampment have made a deal with Santiago to save his life, despite the alchemist giving away his money to giving away Santiago's money to the tribal chief. So that's the situation that we're in right now. Santiago is very nervous. It's like the desert. It says here, y el desierto, and the desert escuchaba, listened, right? Su miedo, right? The desert was listening to Santiago's fear. Escuchaba su corazón. He was listening to his heart. So Santiago is in deep meditation right now. He's in a life and death situation in the middle of essentially a Bedouin, Muslim, Maghreb, Berber type of scenario surrounded by warriors that are dressed in all blue with black head wraps, and um, Santiago's trying to tap into himself to figure out how he's going to turn himself into wind, right? So obviously the guards, they are in the midst of battle, they're losing people, and obviously taking prisoner somebody who is just traveling through the desert after they gave you a whole bunch of gold. They're gonna at some point be merciful, right? Because they're actually in the middle of a war, and this guy is obviously no threat. These guys are obviously no threat. So that is Spanish and English for the Moorish Alchemist 69. It's a very short paragraph, and it leaves off pretty much with Santiago at the top of a rock, just meditating, right? So if you guys can think about that and ponder on that while I give you la única obligación de una persona es cumplir su destino. The only obligation of a person is to complete their destiny. This is the Alchemist. It's a fable to help you achieve your dreams. What are your dreams? And what is your destiny? That is essentially the whole motif and theme of this. Peace and blessings upon everybody on here. I'm Marcoelboriken. Please check out moorsoflight.com. Love light, health is wealth, and ask yourself, what is your destiny?